1973 World Series as determined by Strat-O-Matic. So it is not the actual 1973 World Series replay because the Pirates are there and the Mets are not. So, but the A's are there as they were in real world. And they lead the series 2-1. The odd part about this series is every game has finished with a final score of 3-2. So don't know if that's going to happen again in Game 4. We shall have to wait and see. And the pitching matchup is a return to Game 1 starters, which was Ken Holtzman for the A's and Jim Rooker for the Pirates. Remember back, early 70s, the starters would number 1 starters would typically pitch games 1, 4, and 7. So we're going to follow that pattern here and see how it plays out. This is game number 4 in Pittsburgh. It's second game of 3 in a row in Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh can't afford to fall behind 3-1, knowing that the last 2 games, if they make it that far, will be in Oakland. So pretty much a must-win game here. Hello, Ben. How you doing? Let me see what we've got going on here. I want to see what shows up and what doesn't. Not sure why it's on mine. It looks kind of fuzzy. I'm not sure why, but let me check my little thing over my lens there to make sure nothing is getting. Hello, Thomas. How you doing? So it looks like everything is pretty much copacetic now. Let's see if I can get a little closer so the cards will show up better, hopefully. The only thing I don't have in this game that I normally would have, but I just don't have it with me, and it's not really that big of a deal, I don't believe, is the bullpen and bench players listing. I've got this thing tilted for some reason. I don't know why. So let's take a second just to get straight. Hello, Kenyon. That gives people a chance to get in. Let's make sure everything will fit. I want to show the line score, make sure that's in there okay. Dice tray, etc. So I think we're good to go now. I'm pretty sure we are. Still looks a little tilted in my opinion. Don't know why, but it's just showing that way now. Maybe that's better. Hopefully that's better. Hopefully that's best. So we'll go with that and try to get that to work. Another 3-2 game. The odds of that are probably slim, although the pitching's pretty good. When the pitching's pretty good, you can get those kind of scores, but we'll just wait and see how it plays out. All right, we're going to go ahead and go with it. Starting pitchers, Jim Rooker for the Pirates. He was 10-6, 2.86 ERA. And for the Oakland Athletics, it'll be Ken Holtzman, 21-13, 2.97 earned run average. Still showing kind of tilted on it. I don't know why it's doing that. Like it's at an angle, and I don't know why. See if I can fix it somehow. I might be turning the phone the wrong way. Who knows? What? Give me a quick second here. I want to get it straight. I don't want to start playing while the things are not in alignment. So let's see. And it's a delay for me to see it on the computer. So, well, I'm way back here. Let me get back to live here. I was way off there. I was about 30 seconds behind. No wonder I couldn't see anything. All right, come on. Bear with me. All right. I think we're even now, but we're definitely at an angle here, and I don't know why. You would think I'd have the exact same setup all the time, so it should be fairly simple. Hopefully that's, well, we'll see. Hopefully, okay, I think that's it right there. That seems to be the trick right there as far as I can tell. So hopefully that'll work. My eyes aren't the best as they are. So hopefully we'll check the focus as well. Get that straightened out. Hopefully the focus is now better. Once my grubby hand gets out of the way. Now I think we're ready to go, actually. Okay. Can move this over just a hair to give me some room to put these cards. All right, so Jim Rooker will lead things off. A's are using their as-played lineup for Game 1 of the World Series and also Game 4 of the World Series. So this is their as-played lineup in Game 4. The Pirates, of course, facing a lefty. What we did is we moved Al Oliver from center field to first base and inserted Gene Clines into center field and put Bob Robertson on the bench. Basically, what's going on with that. All right, Bert Campaneris will be the leadoff man, and we are ready to go here from Pittsburgh. Pirates trail at 2-1, must-win situation. Here's Rooker, 5-7 against the righty, and that's a ground ball second base X, so right away we go to the X charts for second baseman. Dave Cash, he's a 3E21, so as a 3, he needs to have a 5 or higher to get to this. 2, he does not, so it's going to be a base hit. Now, will it be an error? E21, he's got to avoid 4, 13, and 17, which he does, but he won't get to it. It's going to be a base hit. So Campaneris is aboard. Pitcher-catcher hold combination is a -3 for the Pirates, so it's going to be a -5 total when you add in the -2 for being held. So if he gets the lead, it would be a -5 here for 1 to 13. It's pretty good odds. They'll try it. 3 to 6, he gets the lead. He does not, so he cannot get the lead. He will hold where he is. And that'll bring up Joe Rudy. Rudy, left fielder. 2-9 against the lefty. That's a solid double to left field. Now the question is, will Campaneris score? He was being held, so that makes him to 16. The Stargell's arm, though, in left field's a -4, so they will hold Campaneris with no one out. They will hold him at third base. Second, third, nobody out. Don't want to take a chance with that strong arm from Stargell. And now that'll bring up Sal Bando. Infield is in early. They are in early. It's a 1-9, and that's a strikeout against Sal Bando. That's huge for Jim Rooker. He strikes out Bando, and that's going to bring up Hot Dog Reggie Jackson. Lefty on lefty matchup. Infield, of course, still in. They were in with nobody out. You know they're going to be in with one out. That is a 4-6, and that's another strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts from Rooker. And now the third base coach might be wondering if they should have sent Campaneris. It would have been a 1 to 12 chance, 60% chance, but with nobody out, you figured somebody's going to do something to bring you in. And now it's up to Gene Tennis. And feel back to normal. It's a 6-8, and that's a 1 to 14 single. That's a 3, so Gene Tennis comes through with a base hit. It's only one star. Campaneris will score, but Rudy will stop at third base. But the A's take the lead 1 to 0. RBI single from Gene Tennis, a 2-out clutch RBI. And the A's lead it 1 to 0. Here's Jesus Alou. He is in right field. Reggie is in center field for this game. Tennis not being held at first base. It's a 5-11, and that's a fly ball left field X. That is Stargell. He's only a 4, so this could be problematic. As a 4 outfielder, he has to have a 12 or higher to get to this. 15 he does. It's going to be an F2. Good enough. That would be the third out as long as he doesn't drop it. He's an E8, so he's got to avoid 3, 6, and then 15 through 18. And he does. So nice play by Stargell. Ends the inning, but the A's pick up a run. They do it on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left. Go to the bottom of the first. It's Oakland 1 and the Pirates coming to bat here in Pittsburgh. Ken Holtzman will be facing Dave Cash. He was injured in Game 3 and had to be removed from the game, but now he is back and ready to go. Let's move this over here because it looks like the cards are getting cut off on the batter side against right-handers. So let's make sure that all fits out. Why don't we? I think it will all fit now. Yeah, there we go. All right. Although Holtzman's a lefty, so we're reading in the blue on the batter card. 5-7, but we're reading in the pink on the, or the red in the pitcher card. 5-7 is a fly ball center field. So Cash flies to Reggie, one away. Hello, Chuck. How you doing? Oh, run on runs has to be 5, I would imagine. Here's Gene Klein's. 6-10 is a ground ball third base ex Bando. And Bando's a 2E24. So as a 2, all Bando needs is a 3 or higher. And he gets it, so that's a G1. And then an E24 he has to avoid. As an E24, he's got to avoid 3, 9, 12, 15, and 18. And he does that as well. So nice play for Sal Bando, out number 2. And that's going to bring up Al Oliver. 4-6 against the lefty for Holtzman is a fly to right field. Alu puts it away. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Kenny Holtzman. At the end of 1, it's 1-0 Oakland. A's trying to take that 3-1 lead and be in the catbird seat, as they used to say. All right, so Rooker now will be facing the bottom of the order. Fosse, Green, and Holtzman. Holtzman using pitcher hitting card number 1, as you might expect. 5-6, right-handed. That's a fly to center. Put away by Kleins, 1 away for Dickie Green. That's a 6-7, and that's a walk. So that's going to allow Holtzman to bunt. And Holtzman, with his pitcher card, he is a bunt rating of C. So he will become a D as the infield is at the corners, bringing them in. So we're going to keep it as a D, and we're going to keep the bunt on. First, we'll check for wild pitches and whatnot. There's nothing on the Havoc. So the bunt's going to go towards the third baseman, and that's the Gravedigger, Richie Hebner. Now the question is, with a D bunter, could be a little tricky here. Let's see, 10. D and a 10 is a bad bunt. Bad bunt says batter lays down a bad bunt. The lead runner is thrown out by the fielder. So it's a bad bunt. It's going to go as a fielder's choice, and it's going to go as a 5-4 fielder's choice. So Holtzman cannot get the bunt down. He is at first base with 2 outs. And we're back to the top of the order and Bert Campaneris. So they tried it, but not hitting all year probably cost Holtzman on that one. And here is Rooker to Campaneris, 3-7, and that's a single to left field. Holtzman will take it one step at a time and stop at second base. So 2 down for Joe Rudy. Joe Rudy doubled his last time up. 6-6, and this time he'll ground it to short, and that will end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. So the A's have left 4 on in 2 innings. Don't know if that will come back to get them later. We go to the bottom of the second, and we are still 1-0 favor of the men in green. Wilbur Stargell, the batter. Oh, I don't know why I rolled that. Nobody's on base. So here's Holtzman to Stargell. 3-8, lefty on lefty is a strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Holtzman. Brings up Richie Zisk, right-handed hitter. Richie Zisk. It's a 1-6 against the lefty. That's a solid double. So a 1-out double for Richie Zisk. He will not be held at second base. And that brings up the catcher, Sanguian. Normally would have had Hebner bat 6, but with the lefty on the mound, I flip-flopped and gave the righty the advantage to go ahead. 1-8, and that's a ground ball B to the pitcher, so the runner has to hold. And that's 2 away. And now we got Richie Hebner in a clutch situation. clutch situation for Richie Hebner, and he actually loses a hit on a 310. He would lose a hit on the clutch result. So he's got to avoid 310 for sure. Well, he does. 111, though, is a triangle result. So 1 to 7 is a single. That's a 4. It's a single, but it's only 1 star. And that will put runners at the corners. 2 down for Dow Maxfield. Dow Maxfield with 2 outs and 2 on. Hebner not being held. 5-9. That's a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. They'll say they go the short way, 6-4 for the fielder's choice. And that's going to do it for the Pirates. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. The end of 2, it's 1-0 Oakland. RBI single from Tennis in the first is the only run of the game through 2 innings. And coming up for the Oakland A's will be Sal Bando, the captain. He'll be followed by Jackson in Tennis. 4-7 against a right-hander is a strikeout. So Bando strikes out for the second time. And that'll bring up Reggie. Hot Dog Reggie. 5-9 left-handed, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. That is going to be Maxfield. He's a 2E24. 2 and a 12. He'll get to it. E24. He's got to avoid 4, 6, 15, 17, and 18. That is a 15. Is that one of the numbers he had to avoid? 24 and a 15. He did not avoid it. That's going to be an E1. 1 base error. E6 rather. It's a 1 base error on Maxville. So Jackson will reach, and he's looking to get the lead. He's looking to get the lead. He needs a 4 through 6. He does not get the lead, so he will hold. And they will hold him on. For Gene Tennis, that means the second baseman Cash is responsible for holding the runner. Rooker 5-2 to a right-hander. Split chance again with the triangle. 1 to 10 is a single, but that's an 11, so he's going to line it to short. And that's out number 2. And now it's down to Jesus Alou if the A's are going to do anything. Hello, Jimmy Jam and Tim. How you two doing? 3-8 against the left-hander is a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left. Bottom of the third we go. It's still 1-0 favor of Oakland. And leading off for the Pirates will be the pitcher, Jim Rooker. He's a pretty good hitter. He uses pitcher hitting card number 4. So not a bad hitter whatsoever. Jim Rooker. And he actually bats right-handed. So he throws left-handed but bats right-handed. So if we get a 4, 5, or 6, we will look in the red for Holtzman since Rooker is a righty. Hello, Ken. How are you doing? We get a 4-8, so against the right-hander, that's a strikeout. So Rooker, even though he's a good hitter, he struck out. Sometimes the dice know who's batting. They just, even off the pitcher card, it kind of funnels to the strikeouts. Here's Dave Cash. 6-2 to a right-hander. That's a ballpark blast, but he does have weak power. And the ballpark blast is only a 1 to 5. That's a 9, so he fails on that. It's a fly to left field. We're out number 2. Singles are 1 to 4, home runs 1 to 5, both lefties and righties. Here's Gene Klein's. That's a 5-7, and that's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down. Nothing doing. 3 innings in the books. It's still 1-0 Oakland. So that 3-2 final score is still certainly in play. Till one team scores 4 runs. That score stays in play. Hey, Brian B., how are you? That'll bring up Ray Fosse. 3-2 against the left-handers. A pop out to second base, 1 away. That'll bring up Dick Green. 6-7. That's a walk. He walked last time. He's going to walk again. Now, last time, Holtzman tried to bunt, even though he's a D bunter. with the corners in, and he hit into a force play. So this time they're going to have him swing away. They're going to change it up and have him swing. That's a 1, though, so it's possible wild pitch on Rooker on a 1-5. It is going to be a wild pitch, so Green will get to second without a sacrifice. So he's in scoring position now with 1 out. And Holtzman can swing away. Holtzman from the right-hand side. Both pitchers throw left-handed and bat right-handed. It's a 4-4. It's a fly ball center field X. That's danger territory for the Pirates because Klein's is a 4E12. 4 and a 9. This is iffy. 4 and a 9 is an SI2, so it's a 2-run. It's a single 2 stars, so that's going to score Green on the single by Holtzman. Now we got to check for an error. He's an E12, so he's got to avoid 3, 4, 6, 15, 16, and 18. And he does with the 12. There's no error there, but it will be an RBI single from Ken Holtzman off the pitcher's card rather. So not the pitcher hitting card, but the pitcher's card. And that yields another run. The A's now lead it. That wild pitch was instrumental. That gives the A's a 2-0 lead. Another chance for a wild pitch and a 1-5. Nope, this time Sanguine was able to block it. Here's Campaneris. 2-7, and that's a ground ball to short. That'll be a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning, but damage done. They get a run on just the 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Oakland now, as the A's got almost what could be considered a gift run there with that wild pitch. But the Pirates offense has to get busy. They trail it 2-0. And that'll send up Al Oliver. 1-6, and that's a grounder to short. Campy is there, 1 away. And that'll bring up Wilbur Stargell. Struck out his first chance. 1-8, and this time he's going to draw the base on balls. He will not be held, and Richie Zisk have a chance to do some damage. 1 long ball, he could tie the game. 5-8, but he's going to ground to third base. It's a B, so it's a fielder's choice. 5-4. Zisk, the new runner, he will not be held, will not go anywhere. And here's Sanguine. 3-7 for Sanguine, and that's a grounder to short. It's going to end the inning. We'll call it a fielder's choice once again. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left after 4 complete. Here in Pittsburgh, it's 2-0 Oakland A's. They lead it 2-1 the series, and they're looking to take a commanding 3-1 lead if they can steal another one here at Three Rivers. Pirate bullpen starting to stir a little bit. Jim Rooker is scheduled to bat third next inning. He's got a pretty good hitting card, but he's still a pitcher, so this might be the last inning for Rooker right here because they're going to need some offense. Here's Rudy. 2-3, and that's a ballpark blast. It's 1-5. That's a 13, though, so it's just a deep fly to left. 1 gone, and here's Sal Bando. He is 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. 4-11, and that's a ballpark blast. But again, it's only a 1-5, and that's a 15, so another deep fly to left. 2 down for Reggie Jackson. A 2-11 against the lefty, and that is another ballpark blast. That's a 14. That's a deep fly to right. So Rooker survives 3 ballpark blasts in a row, but Three River Stadium keeps the ball in the park. And it's just on the scorebook, is just a 1-2-3 quiet inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th, but that's going to be it for Rooker because they need offense. So Rooker's going to be done. He's going to go 5 innings. He's going to give up 5 hits. 2 runs. They were all earned. He's going to walk 2. He walked Dick Green twice. The only 2 he walked was Dick Green twice. And he struck out these 3 right here, and that's it. So 5 innings pitched, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And he is on the outside looking in as far as the 1-loss decision. So, We'll see who they want to use as a pinch hitter. Might depend on the base running situation. Right now, Richie Hebner will lead things off. But the righties on the bench for the Pirates. You could go with Bob Robertson. You could go with Rennie Stennett. You could go with Fernando Gonzalez. Those are the top 3 rated pinch hitters. But if it's 2 outs, base is empty, you might not want to use your best guy. You might want to. Hello, Alan. How you doing? We're not going to use a RJL strategy of who has the most at bats. We're going who makes the most sense. All right, 3-9. Richie Hebner to the lefty. 3-9's a 1-2 triple, but that's a 5. So he will fly it to center field, and Reggie puts it away. 1 down. Here's Maxville. It's a 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. That's Dick Green. Green's a 2E11. So a 2E11 for Dick Green. 2 and a 2, that's trouble. 2 and a 2 is a single. So Maxville will get aboard. Checking for an error on E11. He's got to avoid 15, 17, and 18. Which he barely does, but it is going to be a base hit for Maxville. He will not be held. And now, with the pitcher spot coming up, they will go to Mr. Bob Robertson. He will come in and pinch hit. He will pinch hit for Rooker. Bob Robertson. He will get the call. Got some decent power in that column 3. See what happens. Holtzman. Holtzman, 310. Robertson, a lefty. That's a single. That's a clutch, but they're not in a clutch situation. It's a straight-out single. Pinch hit single for Robertson. Maxville will stop at second. But now runners at first and second with only 1 out, and the top of the order coming up in Dave Cash. This might be the inning the Pirates can make hay on Holtzman. 4-5. There's a fly ball to right. That's going to be 2 down. And it's going to be up to Gene Kleins to get it done. Gene Kleins. Holtzman to Kleins. 3-9, and that's a 1-7 single. It's a 3, but it's only a 1-star single, so it's going to load the bases. Bases are loaded. It's a 3-9 against a lefty. 1-7 is a single, but it's only 1 asterisk there. So the bases are loaded now for Al Oliver. Definitely clutch situation for Oliver. He gains a hit here on 3-7 on the clutch, and also on 3-2. That's 2 clutch hits he gains by being a clutch hitter. So we'll see what happens. Holtzman, 6'4", is a ground ball shortstop X, so it's up to Campaneris. He's a 2E26, is Campaneris. And as a 2, he has to have 3 or higher, which he does. It's a 5, which is a G3, which is close enough. It means he only plays at first. His error is a 26, so he's got to avoid 12, 17, and 18. And that's a 12. So it will be an error on Campaneris. Instead of the inning ending, it's an error. E6, the run's going to score. The run will score. And Kleins will take second base, and going to third is Robertson. So the bases remain loaded. Should have been out of the inning, but Campaneris booted it. So now, here comes Wilbur Stargell. That's a 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a 1, but he has a 0 balk rating, so there is no balk. So now here's Stargell. 4-3, and that's a ball. I'm sorry, this way. Ground ball first base X on a 4-3. First base X. First base is Tennis. He's a 4E18. So Tennis has to have a 7 or higher to get to this. He does. An 11 is good enough. That's going to be a G3. And he's got an E18, so he's got to avoid 11, 12, 14, and 17. And that's a 10. He barely does. So he fields it and flips to Holtzman covering to end the inning. But the Pirates do pick up a run. It's unearned, but they'll take it. Run on 3 hits, 1 big error, and they left them loaded. So we go to the Top of the sixth. Top of the sixth with the score 2-1. And we got to figure out some strategy to how we want to handle this. It looks like there might be a double switch coming on. Al Oliver will move from first base to center field. Bob Robertson will stay in the game to play first base. And Gene Clines is coming out of the game, and the pitcher will go in the number 2 spot. So the number 2 spot is the pitcher spot. So Bob Robertson, who pinch hit, will stay in the game, bat 9th. So he will bat behind Al Maxwell, which means he's going to be hitting, in this case, he will be hitting 5th in the inning. Oliver will move to center field, so I got to get his numbers in center. He's a 2-0 and E14, so we got a 2 center fielder instead of a 4 center fielder. Robertson is a 2 with an E8, and he runs at a 10. All right, double switch is out of the way. Now we need a pitcher. Part 1 was done. Now you could. Now we need to go to a pitcher. So who's going to come in for the Pirates is the question. Well, do it for the A's. It is going to be right-handed central. So they're going to a right-hander out of the pen. And it's going to be, let's see who pitched the last game to make sure I don't wear anybody out. Last game, Moose went 2 innings, so I'd rather not use him. Johnson went 1. So they're going to go with John Moreland. 2-2 with a 3.95 earned run average. So John Moreland will come on and pitch for the Pirates. And he'll be facing Tennis, Alou, and Fosse. So the double switch is done. Hello, John. Didn't see you come in. Good to see you. All right, speaking of Johns, we got John Moreland pitching. So Moreland to Tennis. It's a 4-10, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Moreland comes in and strikes out Gene Tennis for the first at bat. Now with the right-hander, though, they may take Alou out of here and go to a lefty, and I think that's what they're going to do. Well, he did hit 306, though. It'd be kind of hard to do that. I guess we'll leave him in there. 306 hitter, we'll leave him in there. 4-8, and he's going to ground it to short as it came off Moreland's card. So 2 down for Ray Fosse. It's 2-11, and for Fosse, that's a ballpark single check. That's a 6. He needed a 4 or less, so it's going to be a line out to short. 1-2-3 inning for John Moreland. So he did his job, and he's certainly capable of coming back for another inning as well. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 2-1, favor of the Oakland A's, but it's a nip and tuck for Ken Holtzman. His fatigue is the number 8, so definitely nowhere near tired yet. It'll be Zisk, Sanguillen, and Hebner due up for the Pirates. Holtzman 2-6 to the lefty against the lefty for Zisk is a ground ball to Sal Bando. 1 away, and that's going to bring up Sanguillen. That's a 5-11 right-handed. Fly ball right field X. That is Alou. He's a 4 E18. 4 and a 16. He will still be able to catch that. 4 and a 16 is an F2. But now he's got to worry about the E18. And he's got a lot of numbers to avoid. He's got to avoid 3, 4, 6, 11, 12, 17, and 18. That's a 10. He did avoid it. So Alou makes a snow cone catch and puts out Sanguillen for out number 2. And that's going to bring up the gravedigger, Richie Hebner. 1-9 against the lefty. That is a strikeout to end the inning. 1-2-3 inning for Ken Holtzman. And at the end of 6, it's 2-1. Favor of the A's. John Moreland will come back out. He's facing the bottom of the order. Green, Holtzman, and then Campaneris. So Pirates would love to get 2 innings out of Moreland if at all possible. That's a 210 for Green. It's ballpark single check, but that's an 18, so he's going to ground it back to the pitcher, one away. And now here's Holtzman using pitcher inning card number 1. He is actually 1 for 2 in this game. 6-4, and he does bat right-handed. That's a fly ball center field X, but a much improved center fielder now. Al Oliver is a 2. So his range in the outfield is a 2. He just needs a 4 or higher. And he gets it with an 11, so he'll get to it. Now the E14 could be trouble. He's got to avoid 3, 12, 16, 17, and 18. And he does, so it's good play for Al Oliver. And there's 2 up and 2 down. So 5 in a row, all 5 retired by Moreland. All 5 he has faced, he has retired. And here comes the top of the order in Campaneris. It's a 5-4. That's a ground ball third base X. That's the Gravedigger, Richie Hebner. He's a 4E28. So as a 4 infielder, he has to avoid, as a 4 infielder, I'm not avoid, he has to have at least a 7 or higher. And it's right on the number. 7 is good. It's a G3 pound, but nobody's on base, so nobody's being held, so he gets to it. Now the E28, he's got to avoid 11, 13, 14, and 15. And that is a 14. He did not avoid it, unfortunately for him and the Pirates. So the E28 and the 14 is a 2-base error on Richie Hebner. 2-base error on Hebner keeps the inning going. And that'll bring up Joe Rudy. Can't blame Moreland on that one. Hello, Mr. Al. How are you doing? Can't blame Moreland on that one. That was just a boot by Richie Hebner. That's a 1, so a wild pitch chance 1-15. And it will be a wild pitch, and that will send Campaneris to third base with 2 outs. And now Rudy, just a single 1 asterisk would be enough to get the run home. Moreland trying to get out of it. He should have been out of it already, but the error keeps the inning going. It's a 4-4, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. This time it's the shortstop Maxfield, 2E24. So as a 2, he just needs a 3 or higher. And he does. So can he avoid the error? E24, he's got to avoid 4, 6, 15, 17, and 18. 7, he barely avoided it. So they pitch around the error. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left. 7th inning stretch time here in Pittsburgh. It's the A's 2 and the Pirates 1. And I believe that's going to do it for Moreland. He's going to go 2 innings because he is, well, he had the double switch, but he's still scheduled to bat 4th. So Moreland's going to go 2 innings, and he's not going to give up anything. He's got no runs, no hits, no walks, and 1 strikeout. So he did about as well as you could ask. And they'll turn it over to another bullpen arm in the 8th inning. Most likely to be Dave Justy, because Justy did not pitch yesterday, so he's certainly fresh. So Dave Justy will be coming in for the Pirates in the 8th inning. Right now, Ken Holtzman, this will be, oh, I'm sorry, the A's are batting. I mean, the Pirates are batting. So Holtzman, this will be his, not quite his fatigue inning. He does have an 8 here. We're only in the 7th. Now the Pirates have to figure out, they're down by a run. Do you give up defense to get some offense is the question. Although Maxwell did single his last time up. So I think they'll go and leave him out there since he did single. All right. Holtzman to Maxwell, 6-6, right-handed, and Maxwell did the trick. 1-6 is a double, but 19 is a single. 7-20, that's a 19. It is a single for Maxwell. He is now 2 for 3. He's not going to be held. Now the question is, do you pinch run for him? They've got some speedsters on the bench that they could use as a pinch runner if they so desire. Jackie Hernandez runs as a 14. Maxwell's a 12. That's only a 2-number difference. So I don't think you give up defense just for 2 numbers. So Maxwell will not be held. And now Bob Robertson, who came into the game on the double switch, will be in there to face Holtzman with Maxwell at first and nobody out. That's a 4-7. Right-handed struck him out. So Bob Robertson out on strikes. Flips the order over to Dave Cash, and Cash is 0 for 3. He's flown to each of the outfielders. Center, left, and right, 0 for 3. Maybe a ground ball might be more to his taste. 2-7, left-handed is a ground ball to short. That's not the ground ball they wanted. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play, and that's going to end the inning. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. 7 innings in the books. It's still 2-1 Oakland. Hello, Mr. RJL. So now we need a new pitcher for the Pirates, and of course we said it would be Dave Justy, and that's exactly who it's going to be. Dave Justy, the right-hander. He did not pitch in Game 3, so he is certainly fresh. 9-2, 2.38 ERA, and 20 saves for Dave Justy. And he'll be facing Bando, Jackson, and Tennis due up for the A's. But let's see here. The pitcher spot is leading off the bottom of the 8th. They want Justy to pitch 2 innings. So we're going to need another double switch is what we're going to need. And who might they want to use here to double switch? They are going to... Who do they want to use here? The last out was made by Cash. They're going to bring in Rennie Stennett to play second base. Take Cash out. Move the pitcher spot here. Stennett will now bat in the number 2 spot, formerly held by the pitcher, so he will lead off the 8th inning. The pitcher spot will be 9 slots away. So Rennie Stennett will take over for Cash. Cash was 0 for 4, had a bad game. So Rennie Stennett will take over, and Cash is out of the game. So Justy is on, and he'll be facing Bando, Jackson, and Tennis. There's been a couple double switches, RJL. You've missed them both. So, well, you caught that one, but you missed the first one. All right. Hello, Mike. How are you doing? So it's 2-1 after 7. And remember, the first 3 games of the series all finished with a final score of 3-2. This one could very well end that way. Again, you never know. All right, so Bando, who's 0 for 3, he's had a rough game. Justy pitches 5-10, and that's a ground ball to short. He's going to be 0 for 4, is Sal Bando. So he's 0 for 4. Rough game. Here's Hot Dog Jackson. He's 0 for 3. 5-12 is a ground ball first base X. That's Bob Robertson. He's a 2E8. So a 2 first baseman just needs a 3 or better to get to it. And he does. Easy play. Now, the E8, he's got to avoid 3, 6, and then 15 through 18. That's a 15. That'll be an error on Bob Robertson. An E8 of 15 is a 1-base error. 3rd error of the game on the Pirates. Reggie is aboard. He's looking to do some running. Justy is a -1. Sanguine's a +1, so it's a net 0 on the pitcher-catcher hold rating. So if Reggie gets the lead, it'd be a 17 minus 2 for me, it'll be a 15. So it'd be a 1 to 15 if he gets the lead. He needs a 4 through 6. Does not get it, so Reggie cannot get the lead. He'll stand pat, and here's Gene Tennis. Justy to Tennis, 6-10. Ground ball shortstop X again. Again, that's Maxfield, 2E24. So Maxfield, 2E24. He needs a 3 or better, but to get the double play, he's going to need a 10 or higher. That's 12. That's a G1, so it's possible double play. E24 needs to avoid 4, 6, 15, 17, and 18. And he does, so it will be a double play, 6-4-3. Just what the doctor ordered to end the inning. And Justy pitches around that error. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 2-1 A's. They lead the series 2-1, and the score is 2-1. And now Holtzman, this will be his fatigue inning, which is number 8. And let's see, in the previous game, Fingers went an inning and 2/3. So they may be looking at a lefty and a righty combination here, bullpen by committee, to get through this game. They've got Horacio Pena, a right-hander, and they've got Darrell Knowles, a lefty. Both double-barrel action in the A's bullpen, just in case Holtzman should tire. Stennett came in on the double switch, so he's now batting the number 2 position. Pitcher spot hitting in the leadoff spot. Dave Cash was removed. So first at bat of the game for Rennie Stennett. Holtzman, 2-8 to Stennett. That's a ballpark blast. That's a 1. It's gone. Rennie Stennett. What a move that was by the manager, bringing in Rennie Stennett on a double switch. And what does he do with his first at bat? He hits a home run. 2-8. Ballpark blast. It's 1-5. That's a 1. We got ourselves a tie ball game at 2. And you know you don't get managing like that on that other channel. So we are tied at 2. That gets Rooker off the hook. Holtzman now has to worry about things, and with the lefties coming up and a righty coming up behind Stargell and Oliver, they got some righties coming up, so the Horacio Pena might be coming in very shortly. Holtzman is set to bat 4th next inning, so we'll see what happens. Right now he's got to get through the inning. Here's Oliver. 5-6 left-handed, and that's trouble too. 1-7 is a double. That's a 13. It will be a single for Al Oliver. One more base runner, and Holtzman is tired. He's got to deal with Willie Stargell. Willie Stargell. Oliver not being held. This is probably Holtzman's last batter right here. Zisk on deck. They're going to have Pena pitch to Zisk. Whoops. Holtzman to Stargell. 2-9. That's a strikeout. Huge strikeout for Holtzman right there. Right between 2 ballpark blasts, which would have been a home run with a 1. So a 2-8 or a 2-10 would have been a home run, but a 2-9 is a strikeout. But that's going to be it. Dick Williams says, I've seen too much. We're cutting it too close. And so Ken Holtzman is going to depart, and they will bring in right-hander Horacio Pena. 6-3, 2.76 ERA, and 8 saves. Can't close the book on Holtzman yet because he is responsible for Oliver. He could actually lose the game. He can't win it, but he could lose it. So Horacio Pena will be on to face Richie Zisk. Richie Zisk. Now he's a +3, and Fosse's a -3, so that's a 0 now. So they definitely lose their good hold of the base runners, but Oliver's not being held anyway. So with 1 out, that's a 1. Chance of a wild pitch on a 1-7. That's 10, so it's blocked by Mr. Fosse. Pena to Zisk, 2-3. That's a ground ball, first base C. So its only play is to first base by Tennis. He flips to Pena covering for out number 2. Oliver will take second base. He is the go-ahead run, so we do have a clutch situation for Manny Sanguillen. Clutch situation for Sanguillen. As I look at his card, he gets a clutch base hit on a 2-6 that he would not normally have. So he's got 1 extra base hit on his card with the clutch. Pena has to be careful. Yeah, Kenny, I told you it's the 1 comes up more than 5%. I'm convinced of it. It's a 6-5, and that's a 1-5 home run, but that's a 20 this time around, so it's a fly to left, and the A's escaped that, but we are tied at 2 apiece. We get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. So now we can close the book on Holtzman. He's going to go 7 1/3, and he's going to give up 2, 3, 6, 8 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned. Well, I don't know. This E6 here. Actually, that 1 run was unearned. So it's 2 runs, 1 earned. And let's check his walks and strikeouts. He didn't walk anybody that I'm sorry, he walked 1. He walked Stargell. That was it. 1 walk, so good control. Not many strikeouts, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got him for 5 strikeouts and a no decision, obviously. So now the hands are in the game of the bullpen Pena and Justy. Ninth inning we go, tied at 2. And again, that 3-2 score that we've had the first 3 games is definitely in play. All right, so Dave Justy back out. We'll be facing Alou, Fosse, and Green. Could see some pinch hitters, but Oakland's bench is really not that good. To be quite frank, it's really not that good. All right, so Justy pitching to Alou. That's a 3-8 for Alou. He's going to ground it to short. And Alou is 0 for 4. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 0 for 3. 2-6, and that's a 1-4 home run. That's a 2. Look at that, folks. Ray Fosse just did it. 2-6, right-handed, home run 1-4. That's a 2. That is a 2. We now have our 3-2 score. The question is, will it hold up? But Ray Fosse homers, and now that just got Raleigh Fingers warmed up. He's warming up in the bullpen to try to save it and give his team a 3-1 lead. The pitcher spot is coming up anyway, so Pena's out of the game anyway. So here's Dick Green. 2-9 for Green. He flies to center. That's out number 2. And now we got the pitcher spot coming up, and we'll get a pinch hitter for Oakland. They don't have much on the bench, that's for sure, as far as pinch hitters go, especially from the left side. They really don't have much at all. So I'm going to go with Darren Johnson. He would normally be the DH if the DH was in play. So they will use Darren Johnson to pinch hit. 2 outs and the bases empty. But the A's leading 3-2. Is there something wrong with the focus? Let me check here. Did I get in front of something? I think I got in front of something and put something up there. Sorry about that. All right. Thank you for letting me know about that. So Darren Johnson, the pinch hitter against Justy. 4-3, and that is a ballpark single check. 1-4. That's a 17, though, so he will line it to short to end the inning. But look, well, lo and behold, it's a 3-2 ball game. We go to the bottom of the 9th. And who's coming in but the mustache fellow himself, Raleigh Fingers. Fingers looking to try to secure the deal and give his team a 3-1 lead. 7-8, 1.93 ERA, and 22 saves for Raleigh Fingers. So Pena is going to go 2/3 of an inning, and he didn't give up anything. Justy's going to go 2 innings. And he's going to give up that 1 big run, which was the only hit he gave up. And no walks, no strikeouts, but he's on the hook for the loss. Fingers looking to save it. Pena would be the winner if the score holds the way it is. Richie Hebner, a pinch hitter for Maxville, and then Bob Robertson. They're definitely going to pinch hit for Maxville. That's a known quantity that they will do that. And Big Dave Parker has picked up a bat, and he would hit for Dow Maxville. So it's going to be Hebner, Parker, and Robertson. Although we might get Milt May as a pinch. He's picked up a bat as well. So we'll see exactly how they want to play this. But first things first, it's Richie Hebner. He will lead things off, and then we'll figure out the batting order from there. Bottom of the 9th, 3-2. Raleigh Fingers in to save it. A's trying to take a 3-1 series commanding lead. Here's the gravedigger, Richie Hebner, 6-7. Fly to center, 1 away. And now that will actually bring up Milt May as he will hit for Maxville. Milt May, the backup catcher, was a .269 hitter with 7 home runs. So Milt May will pinch hit right here, and they'll bring in somebody else to play short if it goes extra innings. They've got 2 shortstops. They got Gene Alley that can play, definitely could play shortstop if need be. And then Parker would hit for Robertson. So Parker is on the on-deck circle to hit for Bob Robertson. Pitcher spot is on deck, and they would get somebody else to hit there as well if they need it. Right now, Milt May, they're going for the gusto right here. Milt May, your pinch hitter against Raleigh Fingers. 3-6. That's a single for Milt May. So Milt May singles. As the tying run, they will bring it a pinch runner for Milt May. He only runs at an 8, so they got to have somebody that's faster than that on the bench. And it looks like it's going to be Jackie Hernandez, I do believe, that's going to pinch run for them. Jackie Hernandez will be the pinch runner. Milt May is out of the game. Jackie Hernandez will be the pinch runner and would take over at shortstop if the game goes extra innings. And Hernandez does run at a 14. He doesn't steal bases, but he's got good speed as far as base running goes to score on hits. So that's why he's in there. So Jackie Hernandez. So it's actually going to be Hernandez, the pinch runner. And would stay in the play short. Now is the Cobra, Dave Parker. He's the pinch hitter. He's pinch hitting for for Robertson. Justy's spot is on deck, and they've got Fernando Gonzalez to pinch hit for him. So Parker, let's see, Hernandez, not threat to run, so he's not being held. Raleigh fingers to the Cobra, Dave Parker. 6-7 left-handed. That's a fly to center field. That is out number 2. 2 down, and pitcher spot is up, and it's going to be last man standing, Fernando Gonzalez. He was a .224 hitter. He's got to keep the game going, Fernando Gonzalez. Rennie Stennett is on deck. If they can keep the inning going, Rennie Stennett is on deck to get something done. But it's up to Fernando Gonzalez to get it done and keep it going. Last chance for the Pirates. Fingers, 4-8. It's a 1-3 single, but that's a 17. He's going to line it to Bando, and there's your ball game. And once again, folks, what was that final score? 3-2. All 4 games have ended with a 3-2 score. In the 9th for the Pirates, no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. Loser is Justy. The winner is Pena, and the save goes to Raleigh Fingers. He pitched the 9th, did give up 1 hit, but nothing else. And let's check the totals. We know the Pirates had 3 errors in the ball game. That definitely hurt them. They had an error at short on Maxville. They had an error at third on the grave digger Richie Hebner, and they had an error at first on Bob Robertson. So, let's see the A's. The A's had Campaneris had an error, so his only error was Campaneris. That actually brought home an unearned run. Hits in the game, looks like the Pirates had 9. And the A's only had 6, but they made them count. The A's made them count. They had 6 hits, 4 of those in the first 2 innings. But I'm sorry, I got that backwards. I was doing the wrong team there. My bad. One moment. Let me fix that. Let's fix that if I can get this thing to work here. Let's get this tidied up here if I can, although it's not that tidy. 3 runs. Oh, it's terrible. 3 runs, 6 hits, 9. Okay, so there we go. 2 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Pirates. Left on base for the A's, 2, 4, 5, 6 left on. For the Pirates, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 left on. So there is your final line score. For the A's, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 6 left. For the Pirates, 2 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors, and 8 left. Winning pitcher, Horacio Pena. Raleigh Fingers the save, the loss to Dave Justy. A's now lead 3-1. So Game 5 will be back in Pittsburgh in a must-win situation, obviously. And it'll be Nelson Briles against Vida Blue. That'll be the pitching matchup in Game 5. And then, of course, if the Pirates win, we'll go back to Oakland for Game 6, which would be Catfish Hunter and Doc Ellis. But the Pirates have to win that first to keep it going. So, again, 3-2. All 4 games have ended in a final score of 3-2. Go figure. But 3-1 is what the big number is, because that's what the A's lead in games is 3-1. Player of the game? Well, Ray Fosse hit the home run that gave him the lead, but if you're looking at he didn't do anything to the other 3 at bats, but I guess you got to give it to Ray Fosse. He came up in a big way and hit the home run off of Justy and gave him that 3-2 victory. So we'll give the player of the game to Ray Fosse. He is the player of the game. A's lead it series 3-1. Game 5 will probably be Tuesday night at some point, probably Tuesday night around 7:30, somewhere in that neighborhood, Eastern time, after we all get adjusted to the time change. Then again, that will be Vida Blue against Nelson Bryles for the Pirates. So A's win another close one, 3-2. Once again, all 4 games end with final score of 3-2. What are the odds of that? All right, be sure to check out RJL tomorrow night for his Strat-O-Matic hockey. I'm very interested to see him play Strat-O-Matic hockey. I own Strat-O-Matic hockey, but never, I tinkered with it when I first got it, but never went back to it. I always thought it was a hard game to play solitaire, but maybe I can learn something. So I'll be tuning in and seeing if I can learn something on that. And we'll see what happens with Strat-O-Matic hockey. So thank you all for spending part of your Saturday evening with me. Hope you all are enjoying the thing got out of focus again. Hope you all are enjoying your weekend and are remembering to turn the clocks back to get an extra hour of sleep tonight. And that'll be good if you stay up late watching college football. All right. RJL, congratulations on your Miami Hurricanes. I thought they were in trouble against Duke, but obviously the second half they turned it on and took care of business, which is what you're supposed to do. I actually want to go and watch some of the Pittsburgh SMU game because that could be an interesting ball game. So I might want to check that out myself. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this presentation of Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced Super Advanced World Series play 1973. And once this World Series is over, I can get back to my 1987 American League full replay, and we'll be going hot and heavy with that, probably starting probably next weekend will be the first start of that, most likely. Depending on how many games this goes. If this is over in 5, then I'll start before the week. I'll start probably on Thursday. But if it goes, 6 or 7 games, then it's going to be pushed back to the weekend. So that's good to do from here. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.